Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, guys. Today we'll be taking up. Good evening, guys. Yeah, good, good evening, good evening. Yeah, hi. Good evening. Today we'll be taking up the webinar on current affairs of the last week. So let us start with the session. Yeah, hi, hi. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening, guys. Good evening. Yeah. So let us take the webinar on current affairs. So, how many of you are writing mains this year? Mains answers. Sorry, mains. People, if you are writing, yeah, okay, then that's okay, that's okay. If you're not writing mains this year, so it's totally fine. But try to write this module test. It's very good. The quality is also very good. So please write it. And today we'll be taking up the seven topics. These are the seven topics of current affairs. So the first one is regarding your US. US wants to join UNESCO. Next is about your disinflation, very important. And global gender gap report. This is regarding your prelims. And next is your Miyawaki forest. It was a repeated question. A monsoon deficit, high net worth individuals leaving the country, and the heat waves. Okay, these are the seven broad topics that we'll be taking up. Few of them are extremely important for your prelims, and few of them are both important for both your mains and the prelims. So let us stick with the first topic, that is US wants to join UNESCO. This was a kind of a big bang news in the last week. So what is this? So why US wants to rejoin UNESCO? So let us analyze this, or say when did US leave UNESCO, and now why does it want to join UNESCO? That's what we'll be analyzing. So this was in news. Before taking up that, we'll see what is this UNESCO. So UNESCO, you would have heard about UNESCO. So UNESCO is a special agency. It's not like any normal agency of United Nations. So it is a special agency of United Nations. So what is the agenda of UNESCO? So there are broadly four agenda of this UNESCO. The first one is your education. So UNESCO has to provide education, and next one is safeguarding the cultural heritage. So you would have heard about World Heritage Site, right? So this World Heritage Site, the tag of this World Heritage Site is given by UNESCO. The next name is that in order to safeguard the cultural heritage, and the third one is basically focusing on scientific knowledge, that is promoting the scientific knowledge across the world, and the final one is promoting freedom of expression. So these are the four broad topics of your broad agendas of UNESCO. I'll summarize it. So first one is they are intending in promoting the education across the world, that is promoting education. And the next one is cultural heritage, promote cultural heritage and safeguard all this cultural heritage. That is the second point. And the third one is promoting scientific knowledge, advancing scientific knowledge. And the last one is ensuring freedom of expression. So these are the broad four agendas of UNESCO. Quite important. UNESCO topic was also repeated in your GS2 mains as well. So quite important. Please focus on this. So this is the basics about your UNESCO. Now let us consider why US left UNESCO in the first place. What was the reason why US left UNESCO? So basically what happened, in order to understand this, we need to go back in the history. So what happened? So in 1989, Palestine was there. So Palestine, so they wanted to become a member of UNESCO. So they applied for the membership, but however in 1989 Palestine was denied the membership. UNESCO did not grant the membership for Palestine. So what happened then in 2011? UNESCO admitted Palestine as a member state. So we all know this, the issue between Palestine and Israel and US are very close allies. So what happened when Palestine entered into UNESCO as a member state? That irked your Yeah, when Palestine entered UNESCO as a member state, that both US as well as Israel. So what happened? US and Israel stopped funding the UNESCO. So that happened in 2011 under Obama's administration. So then they stopped this funding. So next, what did Trump do? So in Trump's administration, again, what UNESCO again? So there was a severe pressure from United States in order to revoke the membership of Palestine from UNESCO. But UNESCO did not budge to the pressure of United States, US, that's America. So as a reason, what Trump did, Trump came out of this UNESCO. So that is in Trump's administration in 2017. That is America came out of this UNESCO. And now in the recent times, so in the last week, Biden administration, they told that they want to again rejoin the UNESCO. So this is what happened. So initially in 2011, that is under Obama administration, US stopped all the funding to UNESCO. And next in Trump's administration, US came out of UNESCO. And now again Biden's administration, it is again rejoining back. So this is the history or the background behind US rejoining your UNESCO. So what are the advantages? Is there any advantages or disadvantages, or what is the geopolitics behind it? We will see. So what is the actual geopolitics behind it? So mainly, so US wants to rejoin UNESCO because the stature of China has increased a lot in UNESCO. So earlier, say before 2017, when US was a member in UNESCO, US was the biggest contributor in UNESCO's financial aspects. So they were the biggest contributor, say, and also they were the biggest technical support providing country to UNESCO. So be it in terms of providing education, scientific knowledge, or in terms of preserving the cultural heritage, United States was the main member which was supporting UNESCO. So now when United States came out of UNESCO, what happened? So China became a big player in UNESCO. So now America doesn't want China to be a big player in UNESCO. So as a reason, again America is again coming back into your UNESCO. That is the main reason. So that is they want to counter China. This is the main reason. And the next one is promoting international cooperation or say collaboration. See, if US is not there, see, one thing we have to understand in geopolitics, US is a big brother. So it's something like this: if US sneezes, the world catches cold. So US is the big brother. So without US, no major global institution works. So if US is a part of UNESCO, then the things will move quickly in UNESCO, and the collaboration, the efforts taken in terms of your education, or say in terms of your protecting your cultural heritage, etc., will be quick, because US is the member. If US is the member, they will bring financial capacity, they'll bring technological capacity, everything. So your UNESCO will get empowered because of US. So that is the thing, that is it will promote your international collaborations. And the next one is, and the last one is, it will increase the financial conditions of your UNESCO. See, almost 22 percentage of funds of 22 percentage of UNESCO's fund is given by United States. That is, America gives almost 22. It's like one fourth of UNESCO's fund comes from America. So as a reason, what happens now, if America again rejoins your UNESCO, again things will move quickly. Your UNESCO will get financially strengthened. So these are the broad importance of US joining UNESCO. Clear? Any doubt over here? All clear, right? Okay, fine. Next one is India and UNESCO. Now let us see the relationship between India and UNESCO. Please, guys, UNESCO is a very important topic both for your prelims as well as your mains. In your mains, the IR question in your GS2. So they have asked UNESCO also. So quite important. Please focus here. What is the relationship between India and UNESCO? See, India was the founding member of UNESCO. So India was the founding member of UNESCO. You should know that. And see, what are the agendas? What are the broad four agendas of UNESCO? One is they have to provide education across the world. Next one is ensure that they protect the cultural heritage. And the third one is provide this scientific knowledge across the world. And the fourth one is mention, so basically they need to protect the freedom of expression. These are the broad four things or the four agendas of that is UNESCO. So the one is India is a founding member of UNESCO, and the next one is education initiatives. UNESCO has taken various programs in India in order to provide education, or mainly the primary schooling education. So that is the main role between your UNESCO and India, the main relation between UNESCO and India. So next one is, you would have heard about this World Heritage Site, right? So who gives this World Heritage Site tag? The World Heritage Site tag is given by UNESCO. Why do they give? They give it in order to protect the cultural heritage. Say for example, Hampi. Hampi has this UNESCO World Heritage Site tag. So because Hampi in Karnataka, so this Hampi has this that is a World Heritage Site tag. If Hampi has got this World Heritage Site tag, UNESCO will give some funds in order to protect this Hampi. So as a reason, that is India has somewhere around 39 UNESCO sites, that is UNESCO World Heritage Sites. For these 39 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, we do get funds from UNESCO to protect these World Heritage Sites. So this is the third one, and the next one is, and the last one is Biosphere Reserve. You would have heard about Man and Biosphere Reserves, right? So what is this Man and Biosphere Reserve program? MAB program, the famous one. Okay, MAB. It's also known as MAB program. So what is this MAP program? We declare any one region, or say one ecologically sensitive region, as a biosphere, and if this biosphere is comes under your UNESCO's MAP program, we do get funding, we do get technical support in order to manage these reserves. So this is your MAP program, and under MAP program, we have India has several biosphere reserves. So if any biosphere reserve is a part of the MAP program, we get funding, we get technical supports. So these are the main relationship between India and UNESCO. Clear? I'll just summarize it. India is a founding member. India is a founding member of UNESCO. Again, UNESCO has a lot of educational initiatives in India. Say mainly in terms of primary education. And the next one is, and they have India. UNESCO has identified somewhere around 39 World Heritage Sites. So for these 39 World Heritage Sites, we do get funding. We do get, that is, India gets funding. India gets some technical assistance to preserve this cultural heritage sites. Okay, that is World Heritage Sites. And the last one is Biosphere Reserves. So there are various biosphere reserves in India, and if the biosphere reserves is a part of your MAP program is run by MAP is nothing but Man and Biosphere Reserve. If any biosphere reserve in India is a part of your MAP program, we do get funding, we do get technical supports in order to manage that biosphere reserve. So these are the broad relationship between India and UNESCO. Clear? Now let us take the question. Please solve this. Please solve this. Good majority. Okay, so this is quite important. UNESCO is quite important both from your prelims as well as mains perspective. That's the reason we have taken up this topic. Next one, please solve this. Next question, not correct. And please focus on this one. That is not correct. What's the answer? It is not correct, guys. Not correct. Good, fair enough. Nice. People who have given yes as the answer, the question was not correct. Nowadays, if you see the prelims question paper, it has become quite tricky. So, the only thing why this time many people failed was that they did not read the question properly. It was not that the question was very very difficult. Basically, there were some elements like this not. So, people due to the silly mistake, many lost 1 year. So. Uh, keep practicing the papers, only then you'll know so how to solve. We'll take up the next topic. Disinflation, quite important from your GS3 point of view, mainly your GS3 point of view. And also you should know what is the concept of this disinflation. So let us start with this concept, very important guys, from your GS3 mains perspective. So GS3 mains perspective, quite important. And from your prelims, you should know what is this disinflation. You need not remember the numbers, like what is the rate of disinflation, and all, not at all required. See, in your economics, you should not remember the number. That is not the way to prepare your economics. So what you got to do is remember the trend. Okay, like whether the trend is increasing, whether the inflation trend is increasing, or whether the inflation trend is decreasing. Only trend is important. In your exam also, you just need to plot the graph. That's it. Even if you know, if you even if you don't know the value, that's totally fine. Just plot the graph. That's how you got to write your GS mains answers. That is economics answers. Now let us start with this one. That is your inflation. What is disinflation? Before taking up disinflation, let us understand inflation. So recently, what happened? RBI governor said that the rate of, please focus here. Please focus on the wordings. The rate of disinflation has the rate of disinflation is slowing down. So that's what your RBI governor told. So what do you mean by disinflation? So before understanding what is disinflation, let us briefly go through what is inflation. We would have heard what is inflation too much in news. What is this inflation? So inflation is nothing but when the rate of price increases gradually. So that is called as inflation. So what happens, say this year, so this year say the price of apple was 100 kg, 100 rupees per kg, and it went to say 120. From 120 it went to say 150. From 150 it became 220. So this is called as rise in the rise in the price level. So that is called as inflation. See here what happens, the inflation here it would be 2%, here it would be say 4%, here it would be 7%, again it would be 9%. So something like that. This is called as inflation. Rate of inflation is increasing. Inflation is nothing but the price, increase in the price level, that is your inflation. Rate of increase in the price level, that is your inflation. So this is the inflation. This is called as inflationary trend. Inflationary trend in the sense, basically the rate of inflation is increasing. So this is called as inflation. I hope this is clear, right? What is, in simple words, inflation is nothing but rate of increase in the prices of a commodity. Say for example, this is a mobile. Maybe last year this mobile was 10,000. This year it's 12,000. Next year it may be 15,000. After that it will be 20,000. So this is called as your inflationary trend, or as the price increases, that is your inflationary trend, or it's called as inflation. Now everyone please focus here. That is your disinflation. What is inflation? Increase in the price level, that is increase in the rate of price, that is called as inflation. Exact opposite is called as disinflation. Disinflation is nothing but when the rate of inflation decreases. So here, see here, the rate of inflation is increasing, 2, 4, 7, 9, etc. So it is going like this. This is called as inflationary trend. So when the rate of inflation comes down gradually with time, that is called as disinflation. Disinflation, that is rate of inflation is coming down. So here it might be say 9 percentage. From 9 percentage we have say 7 percentage. From 7 we have 4 percentage. So this is called as disinflation. Disinflation is nothing but decrease in the rate of inflation. Please write it down, jot it down. Disinflation is decrease in the rate of inflation. That is your disinflation. Inflation means what happens? Inflationary trend, the rate of price increase keeps going high. So that is called as inflation. The exact opposite, that is rate of decrease in the inflation rate, inflation is called as disinflation. Clear? Am I not audible? Audible, right? Audible. Shagun, audible, no? Shagun, I think there's some issue in your side here. I don't know. Okay, audible, audible. It's audible. Yes. Uh, yeah. Okay. So this is clear, right? Any doubts? What? Fine. So this is called as disinflation. Any doubts here? All clear, right? What is inflation and what is disinflation? Understood, right? Now, before taking up like why the rate of disinflation is slowing down, or say how disinflation occurs, you need to know how inflation occurs. Please focus here just for a minute. I'll give a brief summary about how inflation occurs. What do you mean by inflation? The rate of this mobile should keep increasing, say 10,000, 12,000, 14,000, etc. So that is your inflationary trend. See how the rate of this mobile increases. There are two ways this rate of mobile will the rate of the mobile will the price of the mobile will increase. First one is demand. So when the demand increases, this is called as demand pull inflation. So demand pull inflation. What is this demand pull inflation? Assume that all of a sudden this month my salary got doubled. So what happened? Say earlier I was getting 10,000. Now hypothetical example. Earlier I was last month I was getting 10,000. This month I'll get 20,000 or say 30,000. Hypothetical example. So what will happen? Last month, since my salary got increased, what I'll do? I have one more phone. So I'll buy another phone. Maybe I have Samsung here. I'll try to buy one Apple phone or say some other phone. I'll keep two phones or three phones. The demand of the phone increases. So what happens if the demand of the phone increases? Maybe your Samsung, the production will be the same. Samsung's production will be the same. What will happen as the demand of the phone increases? The supply will be reduced. So as a supply will remain the same. So as a reason, what happens? The price of the phone keeps increasing. In simple words, if we have to compare, say there is say 100 kg of apple. So there is 100 kg of apple and there are 100 people buying it. So 100 people buy this 100 kg of apple, that is 1 kg per people, per person. So what happens now? Now say 50% have got higher salary this month. So what they will do? They will start to purchase more apples. So but we have 100 kg of apple. So as a reason, when they start to purchase more apple, what will happen? The price of the apple keeps increasing. So that is nothing but inflation. Inflation is nothing but whenever the demand increases. Why does the demand increases? When I get more money, I spend it, and as the demand increases. Understood? Simple words. Whenever I have more money, I spend it. As the spending increases, the demand increases. When the demand increases, I'll have inflation. So the price will start going up. So this is one way. And the next one is cost push. So what is this? Cost push inflation. So what is this cost push inflation? Assume that my salary is exactly the same, but however, due to the say the global chip shortage, the production of mobile has gradually come down. So maybe last month there were 100 mobiles that was produced. This month I'll have say, or else we'll take the example of Apple only. Last month 100 kg apple was produced, so there were 100 people to buy it. Now what happened? This month there were only 50 kg of apple. So 50 kg of apple were there, but there are 100 people to buy it. So as a reason, what happens? So there is less apple, so more people to buy. The apple price will start increasing. So understood. This is your cost push inflation, and next one is your demand pull inflation. When I demand lot of products, the price of the product increases. That is your demand pull inflation. Why demand pull inflation increases? Mainly because when my purchasing capacity increases, or say when my purchasing power increases, when I get more money, when I get more salary, my demand also increases. As the demand increases, the inflation also increases. Understood? So this is the basic idea about your inflation. Now let us consider what is this disinflation. So so yeah, this is your disinflation. And if you see the trend, that is your inflation trend in India. So inflation trend had reached up to say 7 percentage. See here, this is your disinflation. This is your inflation. This is your disinflation. Inflation. Yeah. Yeah, this is your yellow color one is your disinflation, red one is your inflation. So this you would have got this broad idea. So in India now, the rate of disinflation is very gradual. So that's what your RBI governor told. So here, before taking up what is this disinflation, there's something information which you should know. There's some very important information that is called as Monetary Policy Committee. What is this Monetary Policy Committee? It's basically it's one important agency which where the members are from your government side as well as from your RBI side. So but this agency will be headed by RBI governor. So what is the work of this agency, that is your Monetary Policy Committee? The only work of this agency is that they have to maintain the inflation rate 4 percentage plus or minus 2. So India's inflation rate should be between these two zones, that is 2 percentage to 6 percentage, because it's 4 percentage plus or minus 2. So they have to maintain this inflation rate. So this is the agenda of your Monetary Policy Committee. I hope this is clear, right? Monetary Policy Committee, the agenda is this Monetary Policy Committee. It will be headed by your RBI governor. The only work this RBI this agency has is that they have to maintain the inflation rate in India at which is 4 percentage plus or minus 2. So this is what they have to maintain. So now the RBI, if you see here, the percentage had reached, the inflation percentage had reached 7 percentage. So Monetary Policy Committee had taken various steps. That is, inflation was peak, that is almost 7 percentage. So they have to bring in, they have to ensure that there had to be some disinflation in India. How did they do it? How did we bring disinflation in India? So we brought, so that is disinflation was possible due to various mechanisms. One is tight monetary policy. What do you mean by tight monetary policy? Tight monetary policy is nothing but when RBI increases their rates, that is your repo rate. In simple words, I'll tell. So whenever RBI, tight monetary policy is nothing but RBI will increase its rate, that is rate of interest. Say for example, how does inflation takes place? When I have more money, I will start buying things. When I buy things, the inflation rises up. When I get more salary, I'll buy two phone or three phones. So if I buy two or three phones, what will happen? The demand increases. As the demand increases, the price of the phone also increases. And clear, right? So in order to counter this inflation, RBI uses something called as tight monetary policy. In tight monetary policy, what happens? The rate is increased. That is the rate of interest, meaning the repo rate is increased. If the repo rate increases, what will happen? All your interest rate, bank interest rate increases. So earlier, say vehicle loan. So what is this vehicle loan? Earlier it was say 7 percentage. Now it has come to say 10 to 11 percentage. So now the rate of interest is 11 percentage. I will not take a loan to buy the car. If I don't take a loan to buy the car, what will happen? My demand, or say the money with me, reduces. The demand reduces. So as a reason, as the demand reduces, what will happen? Gradually the rate of interest will come down. So earlier you would have seen, right, a lot of no EMI, no cost EMI offers were going on earlier, before say in the last 1 year or last 2 years. Now this no cost EMI is very rare because RBI has increased the rate of interest. So now banks cannot offer this no cost EMI. So earlier the rate of interest was very low. So as a reason, they were offering this no cost EMI. Now RBI has increased. When there was no cost EMI, I was buying one phone, two phone, three phone, because I have money. I can easily take up loan and buy it. Now when the rate of interest is very high due to this tight monetary policy, I will not buy the extra phone. If I don't buy this extra phone, what will happen? The demand will automatically come down. If the demand automatically comes down, then the inflation will also come down. So this is your tight monetary policy. Under tight monetary policy, what happens? The rate of interest, that is your credit loans, that is any of your loan, the rate of interest for the loans increases. So as a reason, I will not take loan in order to buy goods. So if I don't take loan to buy goods, the demand for the goods reduces. If the demand for the goods reduces, automatically the prices also will come down. That is your tight monetary policy. Next one is decrease in the aggregate demand. So how decrease in the aggregate demand? Whenever whenever there's no enough income. So assume that say a few people lost jobs. So if people lost jobs, or say if there is no proper monsoon, what will happen? I will not have money to buy extra phone. So automatically, when I don't have money to buy extra phone, automatically the demand comes down. So as a reason, as the demand comes down, what will happen? The price of the phone will also come down. So if the price comes down, again, that is nothing but your disinflation. Disinflation is nothing. What is disinflation? The price should come down. So whenever there is a decrease in the aggregate demand, usually aggregate demand, when aggregate demand reduces, when the purchasing power of individual reduces. Say for example, say I lose job. If I lose job, what will happen? So automatically I will not get salary. If I don't get salary, I cannot buy extra goods. If I don't get extra goods, then if I don't buy extra goods, automatically the demand will come down. If the demand comes down, the prices of the phone will come down. So this is the next one. And next one is your falling in commodity price. What do you mean by falling in commodity price? How falling in commodity price reduces the leads to disinflation? See, commodity, let us take crude oil as one commodity. So assume that say all of a sudden tomorrow, hypothetical example, tomorrow say government says that petrol is at 50 rupees, diesel is at 30 rupees. If government says, if the, because assume, hypothetically assuming that globally the crude oil rate has come down. So what happens if the crude oil rate comes down? The petrol and diesel rate in India will also come down. So say 50 rupees, or say 30, hypothetical example. If the diesel rate is 30 rupees, what will happen? The cost of transportation will come down. If the cost of transportation comes down, the cost of your vegetables will also come down, because vegetable is transported from your truck, right? So as a truck's cost of transportation comes down, so the vegetables cost will also come down. So as a reason, what happens? The overall economics cost will overall all the goods, the cost will come down. So this is your falling of commodity price. Whenever any major commodity price reduces, we will have disinflation. The overall inflation rate will keep falling down. So this is your falling commodity price. I'll again repeat this example. Commodity is in the sense, for example, we'll take crude oil. We can also take iron and steel. So any commodity, if there's any very important commodity, assume that coal. So what happens if the coal prices have completely come down, so as completely gone to the bottoms? So what will happen? I'll get cheap electricity. If I'll get cheap electricity, this room rent, or say this building's rent, will automatically come down. If the building's rent will automatically come down, the demand will also come down. So as a reason, overall the price will come down. So this is your and whenever there is any fall in the commodity price, we will have disinflation trend. So this is your falling commodity price. And next one is again productivity. So productivity improvement. So what is this productivity improvement? What do you mean by productivity improvement? Say, let us assume that this is Samsung phone. So Samsung could make, say, 100 or we'll take the simple example, Apple. So there is 100 kg of Apple, and we have 100 people. So because the 100 kg of Apple, there are 100, hypothetical example again, there is 100 kg of Apple, there are 100 peoples. So each person will buy 1 kg of Apple. Now what happens next year, or say next month, the productivity got improved. That is, the agricultural productivity got improved. So next month we will have 150 kg of Apple. So if I have 150 kg of Apple, what will happen? Since the productivity has increased, the supply will also increase. As the supply increases, what happens? The price of the apple will come down. Maybe when there was 100 kg of apple production per month, and there are 100 buyers, maybe the price of the apple would be 50 rupees. Now I have 150 kgs excess apple. What will happen? The price will further come down. The price will again come down to, say, 30 rupees. So this is how we'll have disinflation trend. What is disinflation trend? The rate of inflation should come down. So that is your disinflation. Whenever we have high productivity, say your Samsung starts producing a lot of mobiles than it was producing earlier. So what will happen? Overall price of the Samsung mobile will come down, because a lot of production of the mobile. So as a reason, the price will come down. Next, the last one is your reducing in government spending. So how does the inflation takes place? How does inflation takes place? How does demand pull inflation takes place? Think for a minute. How does demand pull inflation takes place? Demand pull in the sense, if I have more money, I will buy two or three mobile phones. So if I buy more mobile phones, what will happen? The price of the mobile keeps increasing. Why did I buy more mobile phones? I had more money. Understood, right? So when I have more money, I'll start buying more mobile phones or extra car, extra bike, etc. I keep buying more things. So when I buy extra car, what will happen? The demand of the cars will increase. So as a reason, what will happen? The prices of the car will also increase. As the demand increases, the price also increases. So now what happens during high inflation, government will stop spending money. As hypothetically assume that I am the contractor, I am a government contractor. So if government, earlier what was happening, government was giving me contract, I was getting some money. Now because through that money I was buying extra phones. When I was buying extra phones, the demand of the phone was going high. As a reason, the prices of the phone was also going high. Now what happens? The government is not giving any contracts. That is, government has stopped its spending. They will reduce its spending. If they have reduced its spending, I as a government contractor will not have money. So what will happen? I cannot buy extra phone. If I cannot buy extra phone, the demand will come down gradually. If the demand comes down, again I'll have this inflationary, disinflationary trend. Clear? So these are the broad ways or the broad reasons how we can have disinflation. Understood? Got it, got it, got it. Yeah. Any doubt here? Explain cost push inflation. See, cost push inflation is nothing but okay, see here. Please focus here. This is your supply. So assume that everyone, I'll explain what is this cost push inflation. Earlier, so there were 100 kg of apple that was produced, and there were 100 people. So this was the supply. This was the supply. This was 100 kg of apple. Now what happened? From this month, last month there was 100 kg of apple. Now this month I will have say output. This was 50. This was 100 kg. Now let us consider this is 50 kg. Now what will happen? If this is the output, what will happen to the price? So earlier this was the price, this was 100 rupees. Now this will become 50 rupees. So earlier the output was 100 kg. Now the output is 50 kg. So if the output reduces, that is if the supply reduces and the demand remains the same, so what will happen? The prices will start growing up or say start increasing. See what happens, you will have this food inflation, right? During maybe if there's any massive flood in Maharashtra where majority of the onions are grown. So if there's a massive flood in Maharashtra, there's the onion crops gets damaged. So as a reason, what happened? The supply of onion comes down. So the supply as the supply of onion comes down, what happens? The prices of onion increases because everyone wants onion. Matlab the same demand is there. So if the same demand is there, the supply is less, the price will automatically increase. The price, maybe now the onion is say 20 or 30 rupees kg. When the supply is reduced, what happens? The onion prices goes up to 100, 120, 150 also. So this is called as cost push inflation. Yeah, uh, correct, correct. Lemon inflation. Good, good, good. Yeah, Kritika, correct. Demand is high, supply is low. Please solve this one. Take time, take time. Please solve this one. Take 1 minute time. No issues, but disinflation concept should be clear. Simran, monetary policy committee, it's a simple concept. See, basically, this is one agency. Consider that this is one group of people. There are six members will be there in this monetary policy committee. So, in this committee, the agenda of this committee is that they have to maintain India's inflation rate at 4%. 4%, this is the standard rate they have to maintain. India should have inflation of 4%, but the government has given some buffer. The buffer is plus or minus 2%. So the government has told this monetary policy committee to maintain 4% inflation rate in India. So the agenda or the work of this monetary policy committee is that they should maintain 4% inflation. In economics is highly volatile. It's not that I can always maintain 4 percentage. It keeps fluctuating. So as a reason, government has given some buffer, 2% buffer. You can go to 6 percentage or you can come to 2 percentage, but however you should try to maintain this 4 percentage as the inflation rate. That is the agenda given by your government to this monetary policy committee, and this committee is headed by RBI governor. Clear? Yeah, good. First point, decrease government spending, so and lower fiscal deficit. So decrease government spending is nothing but, say, government earlier was giving me contract, I was buying a lot of phones. Now government has stopped its spending, in the sense government is not giving me contract. So as a reason, I will not have money to buy more phones. So that is your decreased government spending. Whenever government spending decreases, I cannot buy more phones. So as a reason, what will happen? I will have disinflation. Third statement, tightening monetary policy. See, tightening monetary policy, what do you mean by tightening monetary policy? Tight monetary policy is nothing but the RBI will ask the basically RBI will increase its repo rate. There is something called as repo rate. If you don't know, it's okay. You should know it later on. But now just consider that whenever the repo rate increases, RBI will, the banks will also increase its rate of interest. See, assume that in 2020, say in 2020, I was getting the EMI for this mobile phone was 1%. So as a reason, that was not some big deal. So what I was doing, I was taking up a loan to buy more mobile phones. I'll buy mobile phone, I'll buy car, etc. So the car loan was somewhere around 5%, 5 to 6%. So in 2020, so as a reason, what I'll do, I'll have some money, I'll take loan, because the rate of interest is very less, 5% for mobile phone, for all these consumable goods. The rate of interest was very less, 1%, 2%, 3%, very less. So as a reason, what I'll do, I'll take loan in order to buy extra mobile phone. I will take loan in order to buy a secondary car. I already have a car, I'll take loan. Because why do I take loan? The rate of interest is very less. So as the rate of interest is very less, I take loan to buy goods. Now what RBI has in tight monetary policy, what happens is RBI will increase its rate. So if the RBI increases its rates, the bank will also increase its rates. Earlier, Canara Bank was giving me loan at 2%, 3% for this mobile phone. So as a reason, I was easily taking loan, buying extra mobile phones. If I buy extra mobile phones, what will happen? The demand increases, as a reason, the price will also increase. Now Canara Bank is telling the rate of interest is 10%. Earlier it was 2%. I could easily buy, I could take money, give it to the shop and buy a phone. Now the rate of interest is 10%. So as a reason, I will not take loan. If I don't take loan, I cannot buy a phone. So automatically what will happen? The demand will come down. If the demand comes down, the price of the mobile phone will also come down. That is nothing but your disinflation. Clear? How point two will lead to disinflation? See, increased productivity. See, last month there was 100 kg of apple production. There were 100 people to buy. As a reason, the price of the apple was 100 rupees. Last month, 100 kg apple, 100 people were there, and the price of the apple was 100 rupees. Now what happened, due to some extra fertilizer, due to some extra tractors, etc., the productivity got increased. Now I will have 150 kg of apple. The same 100 people, what will happen to the cost? The cost will automatically come down, because there is 150 kg of apple. So that is the reason. Clear? Done? Any doubt? Any doubt here? Good. Okay. So please solve this one. Very easy. Here it is. Please focus. This is not. It is not. Good, good, good. Fair enough. Nice. Excellent. Yeah. Next one. We'll take up another interesting topic. This was too much in news. It's kind of a good news for India. So what is this? Global Gender Gap Report. If you see, it is purely from prelims perspective. Prelims perspective. So if you see your prelims paper, they do ask reports. So this report is published by which organization, etc. That's it. So that's what you have to learn. So this is kind of a good news for India. So what is this Global Gender Gap Report? So what is this Global Gender Gap Report? So yeah, so India climbs 8th place to 127 in the Global Gender Index, says World Economic Forum. Okay, so there's something called as Global Gender Gap Report. So what is this Global Gender Gap Report? So this is a report given by your World Economic Forum. Please just note there are only 2-3 points which you should memorize in this one. That's more than sufficient. You need not memorize each and everything. It's a simple topic. Basically, it's kind of a prelims topic. So what is this Global Gender Gap Report? This Global Gender Gap Report is nothing but a report given by your World Economic Forum. So what does this report says? It says it highlights the gender gap in entire country in various dimensions. Gender gap in the sense the gap between your male and female. So what is the gap between your male and female in terms of various dimensions? What are the dimensions this World Economic Forum considers in order to produce this report, that is a Global Gender Gap Report? So there are 4 dimensions. Very simple. One is your economic dimension, economic participation. Next one is your education, again educational achievements or say educational attainment. And next one is your health, and next one, the last one is political achievements or say political empowerment. So how do we measure, how does your World Economic Forum measure global gender gap report, or say how does the gender gap is measured? So how do we measure the empowerment between your male and female? How do we measure it? So World Economic Forum considers 4 parameters. What are these 4 parameters? Very simple, like your GS syllabus only. One is your economic dimension, next one is your educational dimension, and next one is your health dimension, and the fourth one is your political dimension. So we'll see how much education is there for. We'll compare the education levels between your male and female. We'll compare the health levels between your male and female. We'll compare your political achievements between your male and female. And the last one is we'll compare the educational achievement between your male and female. Education and economic achievement between your male and female. So this is how the World Economic Forum considers, so it calculates the gender gap. So this is done for entire world. So all the country, that is your World Economic Forum, considers these 4 parameters in order to assess the gender gap across the country. So across the world for every country. So here this is kind of good news for India. So we have slightly improved, but not very very good thing. But however, we are in the somewhere in the bottom 30, bottom 40 only. So but anyways, compared to the last year, we have taken some good steps. So if you have to calculate, how does World Economic Forum calculates? So basically, they will assign the values. Okay, the values is between 0 to 1. If it is 1, so if they assign education as 1, it means that both male and female have equal opportunity in education. If they assign 0, there is 100 percentage difference between male and female in terms of education, or in terms of economic activities, in terms of health, in terms of political achievements, or say political empowerment. Understood? So it is calculated between 0 and 1. 1 means complete gender parity, in the sense both male and female are completely equal. And the 0 means there is complete inequality. Male will have, female will not have. Male can go to school, female cannot go to school. This situation is your 0. Understood? So this is your scores are given between 0 and 1. Understood? This is clear. Now let us consider what is the objective, why World Economic Forum gives this global gender gap report. Why is that? So basically, global, that is World Economic Forum, gives this report in order to highlight the gender gap, so that the countries and all the stakeholders involved can take some prevention, or say interventions, in order to ensure that we have gender parity. So what World Economic Forum does is that they will highlight, acha, in your country, the education you have parity, but however in politics you don't, in polity you don't have parity, in economical angle you don't have parity, in health angle you don't have parity. So if World Economic Forum highlights it in the report, your country, or say other stakeholders, can take some intervention in order to bring parity in your polity, or say in your health, etc. So that is the objective. It's not that just doing some random things. What the main objective of World Economic Forum, in order to release this report, is that highlight these are the gender inequalities in your country, so you can take some interventions, or you can take some measures to bring back the parity. That is, you have to bring back the difference, that is bring back the parity. So that is the main objective. So now let us see, any doubt till here? Any doubt? No issues, right? ठीक है. Okay. Gender disparity, Subramania. Gender disparity मतलब inequality between male and female. That is your gender disparity. Inequality between different genders. Okay. So what are the findings? What are the findings in the report? First, we'll analyze what is the finding at the global level, and mainly we'll focus on the India level. Broadly, we'll take two aspects at the global level. At the global level, the top countries are your Nordic countries. What are your Nordic countries? That is your Scandinavian, that is your Norway, Finland, Sweden. So these are your Nordic countries. They are in the top position. Iceland is in the top position. So they are at the top. If you consider the rank wise across the world, the initial ranks are held by your Nordic countries. And now if you compare the continent wise, that is your Europe has the very good gender parity. That is, they have ranked well, and they are one of the highest, so leading in terms of continental level. At country level, Nordic country Iceland is the top. At continental level, Europe is the top in terms of gender parity. Gender parity in a sense, gender equality. That is, all the gender should have equal opportunity. That is your Europe. Europe is in the top first position in terms of continent. Now let us come to India. So this is quite important. So where you can use it? So you can use it in your GS1 and GS2. So GS1 and GS2, you have society, and here you have social justice. In social justice, you have health, education. So there you can use it, and in GS1 you can use it in polity. You have women and all, right? So they, in that topic, you can use this concepts. So what does the report say? The report says that last year India ranked 135. So this was last year rank. Now this year India has ranked 127. It is a good thing. So that is, we are improving in the gender parity, in the sense we are trying to bridge the gap between your different genders. So that's what we are doing. Matlab, it's a good thing. Last year we were in 135 position. Now this year we are in 127 position. And the next one is The overall India's score was 64 percentage, 64 percentage point 3. Okay, let's consider a round figure is 64 percentage. This was the overall score. You need not memorize this, have a fair idea. Let us be very pragmatic. Even if you memorize this, next 2 weeks you'll forget it. Your exam is in say September 2024. No need. Basically just have fair idea. You just need to know the trend. The trend is India is improving in terms of gender parity. So last year it was 135, this year it is 127. This is what you have to remember. In your paper, in your exam paper, you can just show this kind of graph, bar graph. So last year it was 135, this year we are in 127. So gender parity. So this is how you can use it or say represent it in your paper. So got it. Next one, what are the other findings that are there? See, what does your gender gap report considers? One is your education, next is your health, next is your political and the political achievements or political empowerment, and the final one is your economic. Education, health, polity, economy. So these are the four angles which your World Economic Forum uses to analyze the gender parity. So in India, so gender parity in terms of education, World Economic Forum, the report says that India has achieved complete gender parity at all levels. In the sense, say for example, let us take RTE, right to education. So under RTE, every boy and girl has the equal rights to enter into the school or say get enrolled into the school. So we have achieved this gender parity in your education. Next come to economic activities, economic participation and opportunities. So here we are at the 37 percentage parity. Just 37 percentage is very less, again due to various aspects like socio-cultural aspects, say patriarchal nature in India. Because of that, women are not allowed to go out for some work. As a reason, what happens, the economic participation of women is very less. So the gender parity score is somewhere around 37 percentage in India in terms of economics. Next, in terms of political empowerment, it is further worse. So we just have the score is somewhere around 25 percentage. Again, the main reason is your patriarchy. So because of this patriarchy culture, we, that is the male, are not ready to consider female as a leader. So as a reason, what happens, this disincentivizes female to go out and become a leader, say political leader, or so achieve some political empowerment. So this is the main reason it is further worse. And health and survival, yeah, we are doing good. So basically we are doing good in two dimensions. One is your education, next one is your health. If you consider health angle, so the sex ratio at birth is increasing. It means that the gender parity is increasing. Gender parity is nothing but gender equality is increasing. The sex ratio at birth has rose by 1.9 percentage, say almost 2 percentage. So what does it show? That is, we are treating girl child and boy child as same. So that's what it shows. So the we are progressing in education and health angle, but however we are not doing well in your economics and political angle. This is the take home point. That is, education and health we are doing well, whereas your economics and political aspects we need to work on. This is the take home point. Clear? Now let us consider one simple question, very simple question. This is how you get your UPSC questions. Good, good, good. No, it is World Economic Forum, not UNDP, guys. No, it is World Economic Forum. WF, World Economic Forum. Clear? Okay, next one, very important topic. This question had also been asked in your prelims also. Miyawaki forest. So what is this Miyawaki forest? Even Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister also referred to this concept of Miyawaki forest. What is this Miyawaki forest? Too much in news. So you would have seen this kind of forest in urban areas. That is, we are planning to have this kind of forest, Miyawaki forest. So before you would have, so that is your Miyawaki forest. So what is this Miyawaki forest? Simple concept. Basically, forget about how we do this Miyawaki forest. First understand what is Miyawaki forest. So Miyawaki forest is nothing but it's a technique. So basically it is one kind of forest cultivating technique, or say forest developing technique, which involves creating dense and diverse trees which grow quickly in a short period. So there are two things. You have to create a dense forest which has diverse plants, or say diverse trees, and this should grow quickly. The intensity of this growth is somewhere around 10 to 30 times. 10 to 30 times. So this is the usual intensity of growth of this Miyawaki forest. Simple concept. What is Miyawaki forest? Just understand, forget about how we do it. Now just understand what is Miyawaki forest. Simple. It is one patch of land. In this patch of land, I should have one dense forest in a sense. It should be, see, look at here, it is very dense. And in this dense forest, it is not that this dense forest is covered by only one species. I should have various other diverse species, and these diverse species should be native species. It is not that I will bring eucalyptus from Australia and plant it in Bangalore. No, that is not the thing. Miyawaki forest means basically I should take one patch of land. In this patch of land, I should have dense forest with diverse trees, and these trees should be native trees. These trees should be native to Bangalore, or these trees should be native to India. And then this forest should grow quickly in a short period of time. The growth should be at the rate of 10 to 30 times than the conventional forest. Clear? Say, assume that if it's a conventional forest, if I have a conventional forest, so this is, let us consider this is conventional forest. In order to have this conventional forest, it might take 100 years. 100 years. Under Miyawaki, it is 10 times faster. 10 times faster in the sense, in 10 years, if I use this Miyawaki technique, in 10 years, I'll have this kind of forest. So that is your Miyawaki forest. How we do it, we'll see to it later on. But now just understand what is this Miyawaki forest. It's a simple forest growing technique. So what we do in this Miyawaki forest, we try to grow a forest which is dense, which is very dense, having diverse trees, and this tree should be native. It should be native to that region. That the tree types should be native to that region, and this tree, or say this forest, should grow tremendously in a short period of time. So this concept is called as Miyawaki forest. Understood? I hope this is clear, right? It should be dense, the trees should be diverse, and it should grow in a short period of time. Three things you have to just memorize this. This is your Miyawaki forest. And how do we cultivate this Miyawaki forest, or say how do we use this technique? No rocket science, very very simple. So basically what we do is we take up one patch of land. In this patch of land, we use the local species of trees that are diverse. It is not just we'll use, say, only jackfruit, or say it is not that we just use only neem tree. We use diverse trees, diverse plants in a small region. So in a small region, what we do is we plant diverse trees, that is, will not give a lot of gap. So in a small region, we plant diverse trees which are native. So as a reason, what happens, all of a sudden the plants will start growing. So when the plant starts to grow, each plant will support each other. So as a reason, what will happen, in a short period of time, I will have this kind of dense forest. This is the method, no rocket science. So basically, rather than giving spaces between different plants, in Miyawaki technique, what we do is we we have very less space between the plants. And again and again what happens, we will use diverse plants. It is not just we'll use one variety of plant, we will use diverse variety of plants. and having less space between the plants. So what will happen, this will what will happen, so one plant will support the other, this plant might support the other plant, so as a reason one community gets developed. So over a period of time, this plant will support each other, so all of a sudden the plants will starts to grow, and within few years I will have a dense tree in a small region, or a dense forest in a small region. So this is called as your Miyawaki technique. Understood? Clear? So it is nothing but involves planting wide, that is diverse variety of plants that are native in a small area. Clear? And then this random pattern, it is not that I will use one pattern, it is not that I'll use this kind of pattern or say some pattern. So I'll use randomly, I will plant in a small plant in a small area. So what happened, one kind of plant will support the other kind of plant, this plant might support some other kind of plant. So what will happen, there will be something called as mutualism. So each plant will support each other, so as a reason all the plants together will develop quickly in order to turn into a big for a dense forest. This is your Miyawaki technique. And another good thing in Miyawaki technique is, since I have dense forest, dense trees, the sunlight doesn't reach the bottom. So the sunlight doesn't reach the bottom. If the sunlight doesn't reach the bottom, what happens, I will not have weeds. Weed is nothing but unwanted plant will not be grown in that region. So as the sunlight doesn't reach the bottom, I will not have unwanted plants. So if there is no unwanted plant, the nutrition will not be taken by this unwanted plant. Whatever the nutritions that will be available in the soil, that will be taken by the desired plant, not this weeds. So this is the method of your Miyawaki. That is, this is the method of your Miyawaki technique. Clear? Vivek, no, not even zigzag pattern. There is no pattern as such. So we'll take up a small area. We'll keep planting. So different plants will be planted. Different varieties of plant will be planted. There is no pattern as such. Understood? Clear? Yeah. Good. So, what are the key features? What are the key features of this Miyawaki technique? One is dense planting and vertical structure. Dense planting we have seen, right? So, this is your dense planting. So, this is your dense planting. And what do you mean by vertical structure? So, vertical structure क्या होता है? What is vertical structure? So, vertical structure is usually the three-layered canopy. We call it as three-layered canopy. If you see here, this is one layer, this is another layer, this is the third layer. So three layered canopy will be there. So there might be one tree which is small, there will be another tree which is a bit tall, and the very big tree which is at the highest level. So this is called as vertical structuring. So in Miyawaki technique, what we do is we grow some plants, or say we will cultivate some plants which is at the bottom level, and the next one is at the middle level, and we'll have some plants, say like your coconut tree or say any other huge big trees, that will be at the highest level. So the three layered usually we'll have three layered structure. This is called as vertical structure. Again, this is a feature of your Miyawaki technique. Okay? Yeah. Next one is your biodiversity and native species. So again, the key feature is, when I have dense plants or say a lot of plants in a small area, what will happen, the biodiversity will start increasing. On top of it, these are native species. I am not bringing any invasive alien species. Since it is native species, the birds, the insects, the animals are totally adapted to these kind of plants. So what will happen, the biodiversity will also starts to increase. So if I bring some eucalyptus, in eucalyptus your birds doesn't have a nest in eucalyptus, so as a reason the biodiversity will be less if I use eucalyptus. But whereas in Miyawaki technique, what I do is I use only the native species, and the native birds are familiar with this native trees. So as a reason, a lot of birds, a lot of animals will come up in this Miyawaki forests. Clear? So this is again, as if a lot of birds, animals, etc. comes up in this Miyawaki forest, what will happen, the biodiversity will automatically increase. So this is your next point, that is biodiversity increases and native species also gets promoted. Next one is quick growth. So since why do we have quick growth, because there are multiple species of plants planted in a small area, there will be mutualism. Mutualism in the sense one plants will help the other, one plant will act as a nitrogen fixing plant and it will provide nutrition to the other. Maybe the one plant will shed leaves and these leaves will get decomposed and act as a fertilizer for another plant. So what will happen if I have multiple species of plants in a small place? There will be some kind of mutualism. This plant will help that plant, that plant might help some other plant, this plant, that plant, that say another plant will help this plant. So overall what will happen is there will be a mutualism. The mutualism ecosystem will get developed. So since there's a mutualism ecosystem that gets developed in the Miyawaki technique, the plants will start to grow quickly. So this is your quick growth. And again, carbon sequestration. Miyawaki forest is the biggest source for carbon sequestration. What do you mean by carbon sequestration? That is, carbon sequestration is nothing but absorbing of carbon and storing it. Since I have dense forest in a small area, what happens? Carbon sequestration. When does your plant absorb carbon dioxide? During photosynthesis. So since I have dense forest, a lot of photosynthesis activities will take place. So as a result, lot of carbon dioxide will get absorbed. So this is nothing but your carbon sequestration. In small area, I will have a lot of trees. As a reason, within the small area, a lot of carbon dioxide will get absorbed. So the carbon sequestration is very, very high in terms of area wise. Whereas if you see a regular forest, the trees are divided widely. So very sparsely the trees are divided. So maybe a big area might have some amount of carbon sequestration, whereas in Miyawaki technique, a small area will have a huge amount of carbon sequestration because this small area will have dense trees. As a reason, a lot of carbon sequestration will take place. And the final one is a low maintenance and sustainability. Why low maintenance? We have seen. So what have you seen? That is, it blocks the sunlight. So since it blocks the sunlight, I will not have weeds growing here. So if the weeds are not grown here, so what will happen? Whatever the fertility of the soil is there, that fertility will be taken by the desired trees only. It will not be absorbed by your unwanted weeds. So as a reason, people need not go and clean the weeds also. That's also not required in this Miyawaki techniques. Very low maintenance. And the same time, it is self sustainability. Why self sustainability? Miyawaki's technique, the forest, is mutualism. It works on mutualism. One tree will help another. Say this tree might help some other plant. So there is a proper mutualism ecosystem that would have got developed. So that's the reason it is kind of self sustainable. Understood. So this is the key features of your Miyawaki forest. So now let us see what are the environmental benefits we get out of this Miyawaki forest. What are the environmental benefits? So this was your Miyawaki forest. So why should we have Miyawaki forest in say Bangalore or Delhi or Chennai or any other place? Why should we have it? So one is we should have Miyawaki forest in urban areas because it acts as a carbon sequestration. Very, very important. Now we are in the phase of climate change. So because we are in the phase of climate change, we need to absorb the carbon dioxide. If we absorb the carbon dioxide, we can control the global warming. So how do we absorb the carbon dioxide? We cannot go and absorb, so we need plants to absorb it. The best technique is your Miyawaki technique. In Miyawaki forest, see, in a small region, I will have dense forest. So as a reason, lot of carbon sequestration will take place. If a lot of carbon sequestration takes place, then what will happen? Automatically, we can control the global warming. So that is the reason why Miyawaki technique or say Miyawaki forest is getting traction. And the next one is, yeah. Next one is enhanced biodiversity and wildlife. So we know that Miyawaki technique, there are a lot of trees, and these trees are native. So as a reason, what happens, the animals and birds are very much familiar with these native trees. So if there's a bird which is familiar to this native tree, and this tree is there in this Miyawaki forest, the birds can come and have a nest there. So as a reason, what will happen, the biodiversity will also keep increasing. And next one is water and air quality in the region will also increase. We know that the trees will absorb a lot of your carbon dioxide. As a reason, the air quality will also increase and the water quality will also increase. These are your environmental benefits. Now let us see what is your socio-economic benefits because of a forest, that is because of Miyawaki forest. What is the socio-economic benefits? One is your health and well-being among the communities. If there is a dense forest near my home, I will have fresh air. If I have fresh air, my health and well-being will be good. If I have a lot of animals, birds near me, my well-being, the mental state will also be good. So that is nothing but health and well-being will be good, or say it will benefit the communities if there's a Miyawaki forest in any urban areas. Next one is urban beautification. If there is a Miyawaki forest across your urban area, if there's a Miyawaki forest in your city, Delhi, at least Delhi has a lot of forest area, matlab in the central area, central Delhi. But however, if you consider say Bangalore or say any other city, not much of forest cover in say Bangalore, or for that matter even in Chennai. So if we have a lot of Miyawaki forest in this urban area, it will beautify the city. So again, this is your urban beautification. And next one is your research and recreational opportunity. If there is a dense forest, it will help us in research work. We can identify how the ecosystem works, how the bird lays egg, various things we can analyze through various things we can do research on in this Miyawaki forest. And next one is it will also help in recreational opportunities. So if there's a dense forest, we can go for a walk around this dense forest, etc. So this is your also gives a recreational opportunity. And the last one is it has economic potential and job creation. Economic potential, job creation in the sense, if there's a Miyawaki forest, it will bring tourism. If it brings tourism, job creation, economic potential. Maybe people can have street vending carts near the forest. So this will also act as a job creating potential. So it has a job creating potential. So these are some of the socio-economic benefits of a Miyawaki forest. Clear? So Miyawaki forest as a concept is very, very good. But why are we not implementing it? Why is India hesitating to implement, or say why is many other countries hesitating to implement it? What are the challenges? So there are challenges. There are some challenges for this Miyawaki forest, especially in India. What are these challenges? One is awareness, poor awareness. People don't know the concept of Miyawaki forest. Forget about the common people. Even majority of your municipality also doesn't know what is this Miyawaki forest, the concept of Miyawaki forest. It is the urban areas are governed by this urban municipal bodies. So your urban municipal bodies doesn't have a good idea about this Miyawaki forest. That is the main reason. Poor awareness, they don't even know this concept of Miyawaki forest. So that is the main reason. And the next one is initial investment and time required. See what happens, in order to have a Miyawaki forest, say in Bangalore, we have to select one patch of land, is a big patch of land. How will I select it? I should have a lot of money, that is your municipality should have a lot of money. Your government should incur a lot of expenditure. So that is the initial investment is very, very high for your Miyawaki forest. Miyawaki forest mainly focuses on your urban area, and in urban area land are very costly. So as a reason, initial investment for Miyawaki forest is very high. So that is the thing. And again, time required, yeah, time required, it takes at least 10 years or 15 years to have these kind of dense forest. Time required is not some main challenge, but however the main challenge is investment. See, municipalities don't have enough money to buy a big patch of land and only to cultivate forest. So that is the main challenge. Next one is land acquisition. Assume that the government has money. Assume that the municipality has money. Where will they go and acquire land in urban area? Everything is constructed with some buildings. Every patch of urban area is constructed with some buildings. Where will they go and acquire land? So that is the main issue. Land acquisition is another issue. And next one is long term maintenance and sustainability. In urban area, what happens if if we have one Miyawaki forest, if we don't maintain it, someone will come and smuggle few timbers and go. So someone will come and initiate some campfire, and it will impact your Miyawaki forest. So even long term maintenance are also needed. So these are some of the challenges of your Miyawaki forest. Understood? Clear? Got it, got it, got it. Yeah. Now let us take the question. Jyoti, Miyawaki forest is mainly focused in urban area because in rural area I will have a lot of land. Patch of land is very high, so I need not have this Miyawaki concept. This Miyawaki concept was mainly intended to grow forest in urban area. In urban area, there is a scarcity of land. If you want, you can also have Miyawaki forest in rural area. But however, the main intention is for urban area. In urban area, I cannot have a conventional forest. I cannot have a normal forest, a regular forest, because it takes a lot of land. So, as a reason, we are having Miyawaki forest in your urban area. Take time. Please read this. Take time. You have 1 minute. Ravichandran, basically, we focus on native plants. Mahadevi, what is the question, Mahadevi? Sakib, conventional forest matlab regular forest, a normal forest. Yes, Kishan, it helps in mitigating global warming. Good. Yeah. Uh, Omega carbon sequestration matlab absorbing carbon dioxide. If the it's a technical word, carbon sequestration. If your plants absorb carbon dioxide, we call it as carbon sequestration. You can also call plants absorbing carbon dioxide, but that doesn't look good. The technical word is carbon sequestration. Good, 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 dear. Nice. Okay, now let us come to the next important topic, monsoon deficit. So this year we are facing a monsoon deficit. So what is this monsoon deficit? So last week and even today, the headlines, not the headlines, the important newspaper news was monsoon deficit. So monsoon deficit, too much in news. What is this monsoon deficit? And before taking a monsoon deficit, deficit is monsoon deficit matlab reduction in the monsoon. So some deficit. So that's your monsoon deficit. So we were supposed to get monsoon deficit in the sense, in simple words, hypothetical example, we were supposed to get 100 liters of rainfall. We got say 80 liters of rainfall. So there's a deficit of 20 liter of rainfall. So this is the deficit. This is the concept of deficit. Monsoon deficit. Currently, this year, India is facing monsoon deficit. We were supposed, hypothetical example, we were supposed to get 100 liters of rainfall. We just got 50 or 60 liters of rainfall. This is called as monsoon deficit. So what are the causes of monsoon deficit? We'll see why monsoon deficit occurs. What are the solutions for monsoon deficit? That we'll see. So before that, we'll see what is a monsoon. We will briefly summarize what's a monsoon. In India, we consider monsoon is nothing but a seasonal wind, a seasonal southwest wind. So this is your southwest wind. This southwest wind, what happens? It brings moisture from your Arabian Sea and also your Bay of Bengal, and it brings moisture from your ocean, and again it comes and fall, and this moisture will will fall into the land as a rainfall, as a monsoon rainfall. This is called as monsoon. Mainly, whenever you hear the word monsoon, always link it with southwest rainfall, southwest winds. So that is your monsoon period. Now we are in this monsoon period. So majority of the monsoon, majority of the rainfall, almost say 80% of the rainfall is due to this southwest monsoon in India. Hypothetical example, if India gets 100 liters of rainfall, 80 liters of rainfall will come from this southwest monsoon. So when is the southwest monsoon? The period of southwest monsoon, it is between June to September. June, July, August, September. In this 4 months, India receives 80% rainfall. So understood, if India is supposed to get 100 liters of rainfall, 80 liters of rainfall will come in this 4 months. And who will bring this 80 liters of rainfall? That is your southwest monsoon. Understood? So as a reason, whenever you use the word monsoon, it is ascribed to southwest monsoon. You need not explicitly tell southwest monsoon. If you have to explicitly tell about northeast monsoon, that is a different thing, forget about it. If you have to tell about northeast monsoon, you have to explicitly write northeast monsoon. But if you have to write about southwest monsoon, you need not write southwest monsoon, you can directly write monsoon. It is understood. Monsoon means southwest monsoon, that's what you are talking about. Because 80% of the rainfall in India is due to this southwest monsoon. And this southwest monsoon starts from June. So usually the exact date is May 26th. So on an average, we consider June. Starts from June, July, August, September. 4 months. In 4 months, we have 80% of the rainfall. So that is what you have to remember in monsoon. And in India, you should know that sadly almost 60 percentage, almost 55 to 60 percentage of the farmers, almost 60 percentage of the farmers are dependent on rainfall, this monsoon rainfall, for their cultivation. If there are 100 farmers, 60 farmers depend on this monsoon rainfall. If there's monsoon rainfall is good, this 60 farmers can cultivate crops, or else this 60 farmers cannot cultivate crop at all, because this only the 40 farmers, say 40 percentage of the farmers have irrigation facility. They have bore well, they have drip system, etc. But majority of the Indians don't have, majority of the farmers don't have irrigation facility. They depend on this monsoon rainfall. If I had monsoon rainfall, I can cultivate crop. Assume that I don't have monsoon rainfall this year, I cannot cultivate crop. So this is the issue in India. So as a reason, if there is a monsoon deficit, it becomes a big news. Why it becomes a big news? 60%, almost 60 percentage of India's farmers are dependent on monsoon for their crop cultivation. That is why if there is any changes in monsoon deficit, if there's any changes in monsoon, it will affect majority of the population. See, almost 70 percentage of Indians are in rural area. 70 percentage of Indians are in rural area. Of this 70 percentage, 60 percentage don't have irrigation facility also. So that is our farmers, 60 percentage of our farmers depend on this monsoon rainfall for cultivating crop. If there is no rainfall, I cannot cultivate crop. If I don't cultivate crop, I will not have food to eat, I will not have money to spend, my income goes low, I cannot send my daughters and sons to school. So these are the issues. So that is why whenever there's a monsoon deficit, it becomes a big news. So now let us consider what are the causes. Okay, so what happened this year? So this year, if you see the latest data, this is the latest data. This yellow region is there, right? This yellow region in the map, this is the large deficient. Almost more than say 50 percentage of India is facing with some large deficient of rainfall. So we were supposed to get say 100 centimeter, 100 liters of rainfall. We got very less rainfall. So this is your large deficient. And this red color that is marked, na, so this red color is your deficient region. So yellow region is highly affected. The region that is marked in yellow is highly affected. But if you see today's newspaper, today's Indian Express newspaper, in the last 3-4 days there was heavy rainfall in the northwest India, that is in North India, there was heavy rainfall. Because of that, today's newspaper, what it says is that almost, see here, last week, or say in the middle of your June, 50% of India had a deficit rainfall last week. But today's newspaper says that almost 23 percentage of India has deficit. 23, that is one fourth of India has monsoon deficit. We were supposed to get 100 centimeter rainfall, or say 100 liters of rain. Hypothetical example, we were supposed to get 100 liters of rainfall, we did not get. That is almost 25 percentage of India did not get adequate rainfall. You know the context, that is 60 percentage of our farmers are dependent on the rainfall, and one fourth of India is facing with monsoon deficit, or say rainfall deficit. So this is the big issue. And why there is a monsoon deficit? There is complex issues, because this time we had a delayed rainfall. We were supposed to get monsoon rainfall in the beginning of June, that is on May 26th we were supposed to get monsoon rainfall, but this time the monsoon got delayed. So in the first week of June also we did not get monsoon. If you see here, monsoon was supposed to come between June to September, right? First week of June we didn't have rainfall at all, that is monsoon wind did not approach, did not come to India. So as a reason, there was a delayed rainfall, delayed monsoon, and below normal rainfall. Firstly, the monsoon got delayed, and secondly, the intensity of rainfall also was very less. So because of these two factors, we are having lower, that is like a deficit rainfall. What are the two factors? One is delayed monsoon. Delayed monsoon is, in the sense, say hypothetical, again hypothetical example, Bangalore was supposed to get, hypothetical example, so Bangalore was supposed to get monsoon rainfall on June 1st, but Bangalore didn't get, so there was a delayed rainfall. Bangalore got rainfall on 10th June. Hypothetical example, again reiterating it. So this is called as delayed monsoon. And next one, along with delayed monsoon, say hypothetical example again, Bangalore was supposed to get say 100 liters of rainfall, but Bangalore got say only 80 liters of rainfall. So first of all, the monsoon got delayed. Secondly, whatever the rainfall came was also very less. So because of these two factors, June month we have monsoon deficit. We don't know what happens in July and August. We should see. So as of now, almost 25 percentage of India is facing monsoon deficit, and that is a big issue. Now where all we have monsoon deficit? So if you consider southern part of India, the southern part of India, almost 46 percentage of southern India, say almost 50 percentage of southern India is facing monsoon deficit, that is no adequate rainfall. Almost 50 percentage of southern India. In central India, almost say 35 percentage of central India, that is, this is your central India, 35 percentage of central India is facing a monsoon deficit, no adequate rainfall. What are the reason? One is delayed monsoon and low intensity rainfall. First of all, the monsoon was late. Secondly, the intensity, the amount of rainfall was also very less. So because of this, we have monsoon deficit. And even in central India, almost say 35 percentage of central India is also facing some kind of monsoon deficit. And eastern India, so in eastern India, almost say 23 percentage of eastern India is facing deficit. Here guys, one important tip, don't memorize this one, not required. This is for your awareness. The only thing which you should memorize is 2023 we had monsoon deficit year. That's what you should know. And why we had monsoon deficit? Two reasons: delayed monsoon, next one is low intensity rainfall. So example is hypothetical example, this is not the true example, hypothetical example. June 1st Bangalore was supposed to get rainfall, there was no rainfall. Bangalore had rainfall on June 10th. This is called as delayed monsoon. And Bangalore was supposed to get 100 liters of rainfall. Bangalore got only 80 liters of rainfall. This is called as low intensity rainfall. The amount of rainfall was also less, and the monsoon also got delayed. Because of that, we have monsoon deficit. This is what you should know. Now comes the important topic. Don't memorize the values, not at all required. It keeps changing, so best basically know the concept. So now let us consider the next one. What is the impact of a deficient monsoon? See, as we have seen earlier, monsoon, your agriculture, almost 60 percentage of your agriculture, 60 percentage of farmer is directly dependent on your monsoon. If I have monsoon, good monsoon, it will help 60 percentage of your farmers. If I don't have monsoon, or say if I have a below normal monsoon, it will impact 60 percentage of your farmers. So that is the main thing. Whenever there's a deficient rainfall, it will impact your farmers, and the agricultural output will be very less. In the sense, say last year, if it's a good monsoon, I will have 100 kg of onions. So assume that this year there's no rainfall, or say very less monsoon. So as a reason, what will happen? The amount of that is onion produce will come to say 50 kg. If there is 50 kg, what are the impacts? See here, I as a farmer last year I cultivated 100 kg. I got money. This year there was no rainfall. As a reason, the crop productivity was only 50 kg. I will not, as a reason, what will happen? I will not get good money, or say good remuneration will not be there. If I don't have good money, I cannot spend. If I don't get enough money, I cannot spend for my children's education. I cannot purchase food. I cannot purchase consumable goods. I cannot purchase mobile phones, etc. So as a reason, what happens? If there is a monsoon deficit, the overall economy will start to collapse. So that is the thing. That is, as the agricultural output reduces, what will happen? The rural demand will start reducing. That is one thing. That is rural demand. That is rural demand will start to come down. Why the rural demand will start to come down? I as a farmer last year I earned 1,000 rupees because I had good rainfall. This year the rainfall is very less, so I will earn only 500 rupees. So with 500 rupees I cannot spend a lot, so as a reason the demand will come down. So this is again bad. Again, what will happen? If the amount of production is less, what will happen? The food inflation will start to increase. So last year 100 kg onions, so maybe the price would be 20 rupees. Now this year, due to less monsoon rainfall, the production was only 50 kg. What will happen? The onion demand remains the same. It is not that we'll say this year there was no rainfall, as a reason I'll eat less onions. I will not say that, right? So the demand will be the same, but the production got reduced because of rainfall. So the price will increase. That is, your food inflation will take place. Again, delay in whenever there's a monsoon deficit, people will not sow their crops, because there 60 percentage of your farmers are dependent on rainfall. So as a reason, we'll have delayed sowing of kharif crops also. So these are the main impacts of your monsoon deficit. Understood? So what are the solutions? So what the main solution is, we need to address the areas in the rural, that is, address rural area issues, that is your agricultural sectors. How to see monsoon deficit affects your agricultural primarily, because 60 percentage of your farmers are directly dependent on monsoon. If there is no proper monsoon rainfall, 60 percentage of your farmers will suffer. And 60 percentage of farmers, in the sense, it's almost nearly 50 or 60 percentage of Indians. So as a reason, it's a big chunk. So we have to address that issue. So how do we address that? We have something called as early yield variety. Early yield variety, in the sense, you're using some biotechnology. Pusa Institute is an agricultural institute. So that is a government institute. So Pusa is one agricultural institute, government's organization, government agency. They have developed early yield variety. So what is this early yield variety? Early yield is nothing. For example, there is something called as Pusa Mustard 21. This Pusa Mustard 21 will harvest, sorry, will get matured less than, so 10 to 15 days compared to the traditional variety. Say if the traditional variety takes 100 days, this Pusa Mustard 21 will take, say, 85 days. Within 85 days, this mustard will get harvested. So this mustard will get matured and we can harvest it. Even if there is less rainfall, theek hai, it's totally fine, because I just need rainfall for 85 days, or say I just need rainfall, or say water moisture only for 85 days. In the traditional method, I require soil moisture for 100 days. Whereas this, that is early yield variety, I require rainfall, or say soil moisture only for 85 days. Even if there is less rainfall, that is more than sufficient. So that is your early yield variety. And next one is drought resistant crops. So drought resistant crop is nothing but the Pusa has developed certain crops which require very less amount of water. Say example is Pusa Basmati 1121. So this is the code. The name of this Basmati variety is Pusa Basmati 1121. This Basmati requires less, that is the 30% less than the traditional one. Say if a regular Basmati variety requires 100 liter of water, this Basmati rice will survive with 70 liters of water only. So that is also sufficient. So even if there is monsoon deficit, what will happen? So less rainfall, it's totally fine. I have this kind of, that is a drought resistant crop. If this drought resistant crop, even with less water, I can cultivate it. So this is your again early yield variety and drought resistant crops. And next one is crop insurance. So something like Fasal Bima Yojana. So we have this Fasal Bima Yojana. So what is this Fasal? Yeah, Fasal Bima Yojana. This is crop insurance. If there is any crop failure due to monsoon deficit, government will ensure some incentives, ensure some insurance fund to the farmers who are facing some issues. So this is your, these are the broad solutions for managing the monsoon deficit. Clear? Afsha Pusa is your government's, is something like ISRO. ISRO is a government's agency for launching rockets. Na? So similarly, Pusa is a government's agency to develop these kind of crop varieties. It's Fasal Bima Yojana. Fasal. There's no full form here. There's no Fasal. Matlab in Hindi, what do you call Fasal? Is Fasal. The meaning is Hindi. So please solve this one. Please read the question carefully. It should be none. It should be none. D should be none, please. Yeah, Kumkum, D option should be none. Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, fine, fine, fine. Yeah, Kancha, what is the doubt? See, here there are so many doubts. It keeps going. So I would have missed it. Yeah, tell me what's the doubt? SMA, please answer that. Yeah. So we'll take up the next question. Sorry, next topic. Very simple topic. Matlab, no major relevance from your prelims perspective, but has some fair idea. That is, these are the things that is happening in India. That's what you have to know, and no major relevance from your prelims perspective. So let us start with this: high net worth individuals living India. High net worth individuals, it's also, they are also called as HNWI, or say usually we call it as HNIs. So what is this HNIs? HNIs is nothing but your high net worth individuals. High net worth individuals are nothing but the rich people. So the people who have more than $1 million with them. So or else 8.2 crores. If you have more than 8.2 crores money with you where you can invest that money, you are an HNI. So that is the meaning of HNI, high net worth individuals. So recently, if you see the trend, this high net worth individuals, that is your this HNIs, they are leaving India. They are going away from India, or say giving up Indian citizenship. So this has become quite a big news. Why? Now we'll analyze in this topic, we'll analyze why these HNIs are leaving India. So what are the impacts that we will have, how to tackle it. So these are the three dimensions we'll analyze. Why HNIs are living in India, living India, so going and settling in a different country. What does this show? What does this show? And finally, we'll see how do we tackle it. So we'll start with the first one. So recently, if you see too many news, okay, Indian Express, Live Mint, Economic Times, major news, even it became quite a big news. So that is high net worth individuals are leaving the country. So how did you come to know? So there's something called as Henley Private Wealth Migration Report. So this is one report, that is Henley Private Wealth Migration Report. So what this report said was there is exodus of high HNIs away from India. So that is the HNI, Indian HNIs. HNIs are nothing but your high net worth individuals. So high net worth individuals, they are leaving India and going and settling in some other country. So last year we had somewhere around 7,500 HNIs. They left in India 2022 last year. This year it is expected that somewhere around 6,500 HNIs will leave India and go and settle in some other country. So this is what the report told. So what is the most favorite destination for this HNIs? Where will they go and settle? They go and settle in Australia, UAE, Singapore, US, or Switzerland. These are the five top destinations where this HNIs will go and settle. Who are these HNIs? HNIs are nothing but your high net worth individuals. High net worth individuals is nothing but an individual who has all more than $1 million with them. That money they can invest wherever they want. So that is called as, that person is classified as HNI. $1 million, $1 million amounts to almost say 8.2 crores. So if you have say 8.2 crores, you are considered as one HNI. So these HNIs, in Indian HNIs, are leaving India and going to some other place. So what does it show? Or say why, before understanding what does it show, why these people, these HNIs go and settle in these countries, UAE, Australia, Singapore. Why majority of the HNIs in India, majority of the HNIs go and settle in UAE. So UAE is also considered, that Dubai is considered as a fifth capital of India. Matlab Indian HNIs. Matlab this is the words they use. In the sense, say after your Delhi, the most preferred location is your Delhi, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata. After this, the most preferred location is Dubai. So that's what the report says. So why people want to go and settle in UAE? Why Indian HNIs wants to go and settle in UAE? Or say what is the advantage that UAE is giving to these HNIs, which is attracting these high net worth individuals, which is attracting these rich guys. So what is that? So basically, this rich, why people go to Dubai or say any of these top destination countries, is that the country has low taxation. In Dubai the income tax is almost zero. So as a reason, people prefer to go to, that is the rich people, that is your HNIs, they go to Dubai. That is one, is for low taxation. Next one is personal freedom. A lot of freedom is there, so no major intervention by the government. So they have all sorts of freedoms in that country. So that is one advantage. The personal freedom that is guaranteed in that country, that is one pulling factor. So that country pulls the HNIs towards them. And next one is political stability. So if there is no major political turmoil or civil wars or say major incidents, again that is a brownie point that will attract the HNIs or the rich people. And the next one is children's prosperity is also considered. Say if it is a developed country or say like UAE or say US, people, the HNIs or the rich people go there and settle because their children will have a better prospects and good quality of life. This is also one factor. And next one is good healthcare systems or say good healthcare facilities are provided, are available in those countries. So because of these factors, it acts as a pulling factor. So these five acts as a pulling factor. UAE or say Dubai has these five factors. As a reason, it pulls the Indian HNIs towards them, towards Dubai. So these are the main reasons why people wants to go and settle there. But what does it show? So what does it show? So from Indian perspective, what does it show? It shows that we need to focus on our economic condition and civic facility. Civic facilities, your road, water connection, electricity, healthcare, education. So these are your civic facilities. If the HNIs are going to a different country because they are getting attracted by the civic condition is nothing but your road, electricity, water connection, school, education, healthcare, etc. So if Dubai is getting is people, Indian HNIs are going to Dubai in order to enjoy this civic facility, it shows that India doesn't have this civic facility. If people are going to another country for economic benefits, it shows that India doesn't have enough economic benefits. So this is what it indicates. If the HNIs, if the rich people in India are moving to some other country, giving up their Indian citizenship, it shows that there is some issues in India only. So that's the reason they are moving there. So if that is the case, then what should we do? We should solve that issue. What is the issue we should solve? One is we should rationalize our taxation. So we have, say, super rich taxes, there surcharge, cess, a lot of taxes are there. So as a reason, almost it comes to somewhere around 30 to 40 percentage of taxes, whereas in Dubai the income tax is almost 0 percentage. So again, we should rationalize the taxes. Next one is promote ease of doing business. We should tackle the corruption. We should promote ease of doing business. And then we should focus on providing civic facilities in terms of, we should have good healthcare system, we should have good education system, good road, electricity, water connection, etc. If we have all these things in India only, why would Indian HNIs would go to Dubai and settle down? So this is what it indicates. And also, if an HNI goes to Dubai and settle down, there is a huge loss for in India. Indian revenue, that is HNIs, the rich people pay a lot of taxes, or the revenue is there. So if HNI goes and settles in Dubai, we will not get taxes. Or say our next one is, it is always the wealth which creates jobs. Matlab, don't take that being rich is something negative. No, being rich is not negative. Basically, it is the being rich will help in creating a lot of jobs. If a rich person, if a HNI is there, he or she, what they will do, they will create one new business. They will create one new organization that will act as a job creator. So it is, these HNIs are very important for in India. So they will act as a job creators. So we have to tackle this issue. That's why it became quite a big news in the last 1 week. And understood? Yeah. Yes, Femina. Trickle down theory. Good. The last topic is heat waves. So again, too much in news. So we had heat waves in the last week, and even in the beginning of June, we had heat waves. So the heat strokes started increasing. As a reason, there were many fatalities or say deaths because of these heat strokes. So before taking up what is this heat stroke, we will have to analyze what is this heat waves. Simple concept. What is this heat waves? So heat waves is nothing but it's an atmospheric phenomena whereby the temperature increases in such a way that it creates some disruption in the society. So the temperature increases. Say for example in Bangalore, say automatically assume that, say the temperature is today the temperature was say 25 degrees Celsius, and tomorrow the temperature got to say 40 degrees Celsius, or sudden rise in the temperature. So what will happen? That will create some issues in the society. That is, the society will not function properly, in the sense it will lead to a lot of heat stress, deaths, etc. There will be some disturbance created in the society. That is called as heat waves. Heat waves is nothing but abrupt increase in the atmospheric temperature in such a way that it causes some disruption in the society, in human society, in the sense human health and also environment. That is called as your heat waves. Clear? Abrupt increase in the temperature creating damages to humans as well as environment. That is called as heat waves. It is not that today Bangalore's temperature is 25 degrees Celsius, tomorrow it goes to 28 degrees Celsius. I will not call tomorrow as heat waves, because this 28 degrees Celsius will not impact humans. This 28 degrees Celsius will not impact your environment also. The increase in the temperature should be in such a way that it should impact humans, it should impact environment. Only then I will call it as a heat waves. Don't think that any changes, any increase in temperature is heat waves. No, the temperature increase in the temperature increases should be in such a way that it should impact your humans and your environment. Only then that phenomena is called as heat waves. And when do we have heat waves? Heat waves are predominant during your summer season. Between March to June is the most predominant one, that is heat waves. So what are the impacts of heat waves? We'll understand. So rather than throwing some random points, impacts of heat waves we can decipher in three dimensions. One is on human, on economy, on ecology. So these are the three things. That is, what is the impact of heat waves on human? What is the impact of heat waves on human? One is we'll have heat exhaustion. Heat exhaustion is in the sense that is you'll automatically become weak. You'll get exhausted because of the increase in temperature, because of high dehydration, etc. So you'll automatically get stressed or say get exhausted. That is your heat exhaustion. Heat strokes, extreme heat exhaustion leads to heat strokes. So again we'll have dehydration, and extreme conditions is your death. So these are the impacts of heat waves on human. Next one, is there any impact of heat waves on ecology? Yes, there are impacts of heat waves on ecology also. Please always focus on the structure. What is the impact of heat waves? Don't throw some random points. Structurize in your answers. On human, these are the impacts. On ecology, these are the impacts. What are the impacts on ecology? Whenever there's any heat waves, it creates forest fires, because the temperature increases in such a way that I will have a lot of dry woods. And these dry woods, and there will be, if these dry woods say rub against each other, it would create friction and it will create forest fire. Whenever we have heat waves, the intensity or the frequency of forest fire also increases. And next one, your there will be loss of your animals, flora and fauna, because of water scarcity. Say assume that your animals is not able to get water during heat waves, it will have to die. So that is again loss of animals. And overall there will be a reduction of biodiversity. Whenever we have heat waves, we will have reduction in biodiversity, because water is very important for your both your flora and fauna. During heat waves, what will happen? The water will get evaporated. As a reason, what will happen? The water will be very less, or so there will be scarcity of water. So this will lead to overall decline in the biodiversity. Next one is there any impact of heat waves on economy? Yes, there is impact. What are the impacts? The first one is economy, that is agriculture. So if there is any heat waves, the productivity of agriculture will come down. Productivity is nothing but the yield, the amount of output of agriculture will come down. Why it will come down? Because of heat waves, the moisture, the soil, the water will get evaporated. Now the crops will not have water. So what will happen? The output will be very less. Again it will see your economic impact. Then energy demand will go high. If there is heat waves in Bangalore, majority will start using AC. Or if there is heat waves in Delhi, everyone will start using AC. So what will happen? The energy demand increases. If the energy demand increases, then the cost of production will also increase, the rent will increase, etc. So that is your economic impact. Next one is tourism and recreation. Say assume that we have heat waves in Agra, so or say Delhi. So who will go to Agra to visit Taj Mahal because there is heat waves? No one will go. So as a reason, the tourism and recreation will also come down. So these are the broad impacts on economy. How do you manage heat waves? So broadly there are 4 5 measures. One is, in order to manage heat waves, one is we need to increase the green cover. What do you mean by green cover? It is nothing but forest. We should increase the forest area. If I increase the forest area, I can control the green, I can control the heat waves. Next one is increase the blue cover. It is nothing but your water, or say wetlands. So water, or say this is your lakes. If I have a lot of lakes in Bangalore, or say if I have a lot of lakes in Delhi, what will happen? The gradually the temperature will come down. Even though there might be heat waves, the temperature can be moderate if there is a lot of lakes in the region. So when I have a lot of green cover and blue cover, I can control heat waves. And next one is improving the access to water. That is, this is your drinking water. increasing the access to drinking water. So so during heat waves, why there will be heat exhaustion? What is this heat exhaustion? So you would have seen here, right? This is heat exhaustion, dehydration. So why it happens when there is no availability of drinking water? So I should ensure that there's a lot of drinking water availability across the city, or say across the place, so that people will have easy accessibility to drinking water. And next one is strengthening the firefighting facilities. So again, in heat waves, during heat waves, what happens? You're see in slum, mainly in slum areas, what happens? The huts will catch fire, or say the so usually the huts will catch fire. So what happens? We need to strengthen the firefighting facilities. So these are some of the ways of managing heat waves. I hope this is clear. Yes, Kumkum, that's also right. Capacity to do work. The productivity will also comes down. So please solve this one. uh, Akansha, firefighting facility, in the sense your fire services should be alert, or say they should have good equipments in order to quickly doze out the fire. Prolonged period, in the sense for long duration. Say for example, Bangalore today's temperature was 25 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow the temperature is 40 degrees Celsius, and this 40 degrees Celsius is prolonged for a week, or say 2 weeks. So that then we'll have heat waves. So that's the meaning of it. How can we increase the blue cover, Manisha? So we can increase blue cover by rejuvenating the lakes. So whatever the lake that has got destroyed, we'll have to rejuvenate the lakes. Also create new lakes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. Good night. Study well. Mainly for the people who are giving, say, 2024. Study well. Focus on your mains answers also. Don't compromise on your mains answer. Study well. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All the best.